and welcome to INC Radio, Faith and Melody. Here we talk about our faith and play your favorite INC original music. Our topic today is fitting in, and our first song on the playlist is Sunday Best. We'll see you in a moment. Stay right there.
In my Sunday best, y'all. In my Sunday best, y'all. I'll be looking fresh, y'all. I'll be looking fresh, y'all.
Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best.
In my Sunday best, have to look my best. When I give praise to my Lord, even if I don't have the finest things in this world, my heart's always speaking Spanish.
Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best.
Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. God is pleased when He sees me in my Sunday
In my
best.
Sunday best, about to serve my Lord. On my way to worship service, I'm feeling so good. Praise be to God on my favorite days. In my outfit of the day, I'm feeling so great. The worship service is finally here. All the things I need are prepared. I'm gonna serve God wearing my finest clothes. You know I love God, I have to let it show. Every service I'll make sure I'm perfect to show my Lord God my utmost respect. But most of all, I gotta prepare my heart, cause this is the place where He lets me recharge.
Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. 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 Yes.
It's my duty, I gotta stay fresh, yeah. I go to service in Sunday best. The weight of this world got me feeling so drained. His house is my haven, it's here I'll remain. These are the highlights of my long week, where I receive food from my soul so weak. Sit in worship service to listen to the sermon, receive the peace from my soul. It's the best in the world, taught by true ministers who preach into the listeners. And when service is done, I'm ready to face the world. Until we meet again, I keep preparing my heart, cause Sunday best is just a start.
Feeling on my Sunday best, have to look my best. When I give praise to my Lord, and even if I don't have the finest things in this world, my heart's always speaking Spanish.
Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best.
Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. God is pleased when He sees me in my Sunday best.
Fixing my soul is better than fixing my clothes. I can't cover what's inside, cause God already knows. Take some time, clear my mind and reflect some. Sunday's best isn't simply my reflection. It shows that I really give importance. I listen closely to the worship service lessons. Bear my soul to God every time that I pray. Then put on His holy array, so I can make it to the holy place. Running hard, fight for my faith. Fight the good fight, finish my race. Fight the good fight, finish my
Feeling
race.
on my Sunday best, have to look my best. When I give praise to my Lord, even if I don't have the finest things in this world, my heart's always speaking Spanish.
Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. God is pleased when He sees me in my Sunday best.
Have to look my best when I get praise to the Lord. Even if I don't have the finest things in this world, my heart's always speaking Spanish. Gonna worship Him in my Sunday best. God is pleased when He sees me in my Sunday best.
Don't be afraid to take the baby steps. It's another day. Don't forget God's just a prayer away. Don't give up now. Trust the process and keep learning. And if you need a friend, we're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. Together as a
Welcome to Faith and Melody. Thank you for joining us on our program today. You just listened to Sunday Best. I am Flo Guillermo from the local congregation of Vancouver here in the District of Oregon. I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's out there listening to our program today. And I hope that you are well. We are just about, ending the month of November already. And so we hope that you've enjoyed the month of November for yourself and your family. And, we're going to have a great show today. In our program, just letting you know that we have our Wiki-wiki segment, Verse of the Week, INC Original Music, we have a playlist for you, and then of course our topic. We look forward also to having you engage in our live chat today. And if you have any song requests, let us know there in the live chat. And I see a few already there um, joining us on our live chat. Just wanted to say good morning to Atides there in Hawaii. It is 6:09 a.m. there. So very, very early morning there in Hawaii. And then, of course, our Kuya Pong and our Kuya Irene that's assisting us today. And of course, I have our, I'm just going to have her come on. Come on over, Ate.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Manong. Hello, Faith and Melody. I'm Kathleen Pardo de Guzman, all the way from the East Coast of New Jersey, East Coast of the United States, and also the East Coast of New Jersey. So New Jersey is in the East Coast of the United States, and I am on the East Coast of the state. It's currently raining, Manong, so I'm happy to be on Faith and Melody to boost my energy because the rain makes me sleepy.
I think the rain does have that effect on us. I think only because it um, makes us grab our favorite cozy blanket, and then we end up falling asleep, right?
Yes. And the cold weather doesn't help either. So it's currently like 47 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 8 degrees Celsius. So,
Oh yeah, I
um,
didn't even check our. Oh wow, here in Vancouver, Washington, we are at 38 degrees
oh,
Fahrenheit.
wow.
It,
Those are winter temperatures. I know we're not officially
mhm,
winter. And I know that in parts of Canada, it's already snowing. So 38 degrees Fahrenheit is 3 degrees Celsius.
3 degrees.
So you definitely have to bring out your parka for that one.
Oh, definitely, yes. And we're I haven't stepped outside, and I'm afraid to step outside for because it's cold. But that's okay. We'll bundle up, like you said, and stay warm. Um, it feels so wintry already. We've been having some rain, or lots of rain, that is, and cold temperatures. So, anyways, I'm gonna take the weather for what it is and just enjoy it. And then for those of you there in Hawaii, probably it's maybe warm, cold, warm, cool. Let us know, Atides, what's your temperature out there. And for all of you that's joining us there in our live chat, thank you so much for tuning in. And I will come back to all of you there in our live chat in a little bit. So we're just gonna start our Wiki-wiki segment, our quick talk. So let's play that bumper.
Wiki-wiki. Quick talk.
Okay, so our question for all of you out there is what is your go-to topic when you, or like a statement to start a small talk with a stranger or somebody that you just met? Not maybe necessarily stranger, but maybe somebody new that you've met at an activity or at a workplace. What's your go-to topic, Atilia?
It really depends on the situation. So I'll ask them something that has to do with the situation. Like if we're at a work event and I've never met them before, um, I'll ask them how long they've been working there. what department are they in, and if they're a friend of a coworker, I'll ask them how they know each other. So I don't really talk to strangers unless
I
I
know.
have to.
I think
I'm
stop
hardly
early in age.
yeah. Well, if I'm at an activity or an event where I know some people and I don't know some people, like you're sitting, for example, at a wedding, um, and you're seated with people you don't know, same conversation. Oh, where are you guys from? How long you've been in the area? How do you like the area? Um, yeah, things like that. And how do you know whoever's hosting the party? So those are my starting questions. And if you have to read them if they're in the mood to share or not.
Yeah. For us, Atilea, and for those of you listening to us, so, for most of my life, I lived in Hawaii, right? And so if I, notice um, people there and I'm trying to get to know them, one of the go-to question or how to just get a conversation started is, what high school you came from?
Is that
And
is the island that small where you like there's how many high schools are there in your island?
I don't know, but it's in almost every, I guess, north, east, west, south. We have our our high schools there, and so it's kind of like that. Oh, and then it kind of leads to, oh, who is so and so? Oh, my cousin goes to that school, and it starts to, you know, continue a conversation or
Oh, that's
um,
nice. I like that. You want to see the connection.
mhm. And then sometimes like, what's your last name again? And it's like, oh, it's Guillermo. Oh, I know a Guillermo. Are you related to that person? And then it's just funny because, like you said, we find connections with one another when we're chatting. For here, when I moved here, um, sometimes when we you know go to the shopping mall maybe or a restaurant, and somehow when we hear someone talk, and especially if their voice or the way how they speak is a little bit distinctive, and then I turn around and it's like, oh, he's from Hawaii, or for she's from Hawaii, because there's something about their voice or their how they speak that kind of picks up for me anyway, and just start a conversation. Hey, what island you're from? Because there's a lot of Hawaii people move to the mainland USA, and so what island are you from? And so it's like, oh yeah, and then next thing you know, oh, what part of the island were you from? And the conversation goes on, and that's how we get to see or meet people, that have moved to the mainland USA. How about there in New Jersey? Is it like that?
There's a lot of different kinds of people here, Manang. It's like all the countries in the world are here, so you have a lot of different accents. But you're right about the connection. When we are traveling, let's say for someone's wedding, or we're the ones who are foreign in the area, I will ask if they have any recommendations to go visit, to go eat somewhere, like what's good around here, or where to stay away from. Everyone, I think, is a foodie. But to answer
Yes.
your question, yeah, I haven't run into many Hawaiians.
Yeah.
Sadly, in New York, I actually sometimes when I'm in the mood for like spam musubi or something very like distinctively Hawaiian, or I'll look for that ice cream that you can only get at the plantation in Honolulu. Sometimes they have it here, so I have to look for specific places. And sometimes the people behind the counter are not Hawaiian. It's so disappointing. But Hawaiians are so cool. Hawaiians in New York, New Jersey are so cool because they're
They
like
they
they're like the
embrace.
best. They're the best of both worlds. It's like that chill Hawaiian vibe, but but they're also very quick and snappish, like like the East Coast is too. So Yeah, they know, and it's fun to know where they come from as well. It's like, oh, I know what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Blue waters, the sound of the waves, barbecue.
Yeah. I just noticed here, I just want to say hi to Ate Care, Sister Carolyn Shank from Sacramento there. She said the pigeon talk. It's not the pigeon, the bird. It's the language. Um,
It's
it's uh,
it's
it's kind of
Hawaiian
like a
slang, right? It's
yeah,
Hawaiian slang.
right,
That's what I
right.
would call it. Yeah, it's
So
very fun to listen to. You're like, am I missing some words? When I listen to my friends talk, it's like, I think I know what you're asking. It's fun. Yeah, but that's
yeah,
a dead giveaway, right?
that is a big giveaway. Like when I hear that, it's like I turn around right away and it's like, oh, that guy's from Hawaii. So it's kind of like that. You pick that up. So yeah, um, I think for me, when I meet new people or different people around my area, or strangers, that is, I'd like to make a connection somehow. And, that's a nice segue somehow to just say, hey, where are you from here? Where do you live here? And so it's really, really nice. So that's probably where our quick talk is. And I see a lot of people there just live chatting away. So we'll get to them in a bit. So we'll close out our Wiki-wiki segment.
Maybe they want us to talk more, Manang. I have something. Manang, you're muted. So,
Okay.
so I don't know. Are
Wiki
we ready to
wiki.
move on to our next segment, or are we waiting?
Yeah, usually we close out our segment here, but Kuya Tex, are you there to close out our segment?
Wiki wiki. Quick talk.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to just kind of go over there before we go on to our next two songs. I'd like to just say hello to those that have joined us in our live chat and our our first honor that was here on our live chat was our Ate Melka Newcomb. She's there from Orlando, Florida. I think it's warm over there right now, but thank you for being the first here on our live chat here on Faith and Melody. I hope you're well, Paul. Also, I see Kuya Art Christian. He's from the local congregation of Novaleta, district of Cavite. They're in the Philippines. And then, of course, um, I saw there Kuya Mario Oka, and he's from the local congregation of Brixtonville. They're in the district of Caloocan North. Wow. And let's see, I just saw Sister Cheska. Hi, Sister Cheska. She comes from the local congregation of Tandang Sora. They're in the district of Central. And let's see who else we have. We have Carl Lloyd. He's from the local, local ng Santa Veronica extension there in the district of San Pedro Laguna. And I've been there before, actually several times. And it's a nice place. And also, Ate there from Midtown Toronto, there in district of Greater Toronto, Canada. I think she said there's some flurries going on there in Canada where she's at. So stay warm. And I know it's kind of nice to see flurries, not the really like lots of snow kind of thing, but yeah. Vicky also there from London, District of Britain South. Thank you for joining us. All right, we'll continue on and with our next two songs. But before that, just wanted to say good morning to Sister Morietta Miller from Medford Group Worship Service here in the District of Oregon. And I'll be seeing you, Sister Morietta, in about a couple weeks for our booklet night. I can't wait to see you. All right. Let's go on to our next two songs and then we'll continue with our topic today. So, our next two songs will be entitled What If? And the next one after that is Samahan Mo Po Ako, Ama. All right, enjoy these next two songs and we'll be right back with Faith and Melody.
Maybe next time I would always say I stood you up, I'd turn you down. You could have stopped inviting me. I always think what could have been if you gave up so easily would have never found the true church of Christ. What if you quit on me when I said no the first time? What if you moved on and never asked me again? Thank God for you, my friend, for not giving up on me because of your unselfish ways. I'm reconnected now with God. He showed mercy on my soul. The sure hope of salvation I found in the church of Christ. Faith alone thought it was all I needed. I've been serving God the way I wanted. Didn't want to hear that I had to change. Many practices I used to do, refused to live my life anew till I heard the truth. It opened my eyes. What if you quit on me when I said no the first time? What if you moved on and never asked me again? Thank God for you, my friend, for not giving up on me because of your unselfish ways. I'm reconnected now with God. He showed mercy on my soul. The sure hope of salvation I found in the church of Christ. Sa mundong ito ay nahihirapan ako. Kailangan ko po ng iyong saklolo. Hindi ko kaya ang mag-isa. Kailangan ko ang tulong mo, o Ama. Ang maipaglaban ko. Ang aking pananampalataya. Panalangin ko sa iyo po, Ama. Huwag nawa akong iwan upang makamtan ko ang kaligtasan. Hindi ko kaya ang mag-isa. Kailangan ko ang tulong mo, Ama, upang maipaglaban ko ang aking pananampalataya. Pangako ko naman po, Ama, habang taglay ko ang buhay ko, ako'y susunod sa mga utos mo. Hindi ko kaya ang mag-isa. Kailangan ko po, Ama, upang maipaglaban ang aking pananampalataya. Hindi ko kaya ang mag-isa. Kailangan ko Ama, samahan mo po ako. Samahan mo po
And we're back. You're here with us, Ate Leah with me and myself, Flo Guillermo here. And we just listened to What If and Samahan Mo Po Ako Ama. And we hope that you enjoyed these songs that were played for you and send in your song request. And I just got a message here that Ate Zenaida wants to greet her manong or her older brother a happy 56th birthday. It's today, November 28th. So happy birthday to him po. His name is Manong Carlito Franco, local of Angono, Rizal. And yay, happy birthday. And we hope that he's well. And we're happy to hear that he's continuing to uh, do well in his recovery. So happy birthday to you, Paul. We hope that you have a blessed year. All right. And let's see. I noticed some that has joined us here as well. We have a sister, Angeli Mori Sebanda. And I know she's in from the Philippines. I was trying to look for where she's from, but thank you for joining. And I think this is my first time to see you here on the show that I'm here on Thursday.
I found our
Yeah.
Congregation of General Malvar District of Davao City.
Ah, all right. I know it's really, really early. Thank you for that, Atilea. I know it's early morning there. I saw the word antok. Antok means like sleepy, but they're pushing through to continue to watch us. That's Kuya Art Christian there in the Philippines, Ate Cheska, Ate Angeline, Kuya Mario there in the Philippines. So thank you so much for being with us this morning or your early morning. It's our morning here too. And I know it's a early Friday morning there for you. All right. So let's get on with our topic today. And let's see. So, our topic is fitting in, right? So let me ask you there in the live chat. How easy is it for you to fit in and to feel comfortable in a new group? So I want to rate you want to um, rate yourself between 1 and 10, and I'm just gonna get started here. For me, I would call myself a little bit of a social butterfly. I've learned to kind of get out of my cocoon and just kind of uh, go say hello. So I want to say maybe a 7, 7, only because I want to make connections. How about you, Atilea? What's that for you?
I'm more of an introvert. So if I don't like if I'm not hosting, then I'll try to be just on the sideline. So I'm more like a 4 or 5.
Girl,
Yeah, depending on who's there. Well, this is a new group, right? So if it's a
new
new
group.
group, I'll say hi to everyone. And I don't know what that's rated as. Is that a 4 or 5? Just hi.
Yeah,
Hey
I
everyone,
is
hi, hi,
good.
hi, hi.
5 is
That's
good.
it. Yeah,
Um,
I'll be polite. I to the point of being polite. My parents always remind you have to be polite. So I always say hi. So whatever that is on the scale of 1 to 10, if that's a 4 or 5, that's what I am. I'm
okay.
very uncomfortable, or like
I try to, at first maybe just initially, um, you know, sh it's a bit shy, but once I start warming up, it it makes it easier for me. I I guess. I love to meet people, Atelia.
that's awesome.
Okay, right? Okay, so, the need to belong. A lot of us we experience this every so often. We all experience a struggle of trying to fit in, um, in different stages of, school, a job, in your home, your family, meeting new relatives, maybe, um, even in the environment, or just, in general in life. We struggle to fit in. And so, I wanna ask you, like, do we need to address that, the feeling of belongingness when working with a new group, Atilea?
Oh yeah, it's so important because it really impacts your productivity. If you don't feel included,
Mhm.
you won't thrive. You won't go out of your way, or you won't even do your best if
Yeah.
you don't feel like you're wanted there.
Mhm.
So there is something about that, especially if it's a big group activity.
Mm-hmm.
and like you don't feel connected to the group. It is important to a point,
Yeah.
but especially as kids, they
Yeah.
kids might not have the words to articulate how they're feeling, but their actions, like when kids all of a sudden don't want to hang out with their usual group of friends that they normally hang out, usually it's because someone else found a new friend, or
Mm-hmm.
they're not the cool one anymore. Someone else is the cool one. Those things happen too as adults.
Oh yeah. Even in our
It's
adult life,
right,
honestly.
right, and we have the words to describe how we're feeling, but we just avoid it, and we just try to avoid those painful situations if you don't feel like you belong.
Yeah. I think that's so important. Growing up when you're young, even until now, so I was doing some research here about fitting in versus feeling of belongingness. So um, it's kind of distinctive in those two parts. So let me just share that with all of you. Feeling belongingness is considered better than fitting in because belonging implies being accepted for who you are, while fitting in often requires changing yourself to conform to a group. So,
Wow,
yeah, isn't that
that's
enlightening?
when you were talking about fitting in, I was thinking of that toy you give babies and toddlers when you have to find
Yeah,
the right shape, and
yeah,
how they try to jam in the
fitting
wrong
in,
one.
right?
That makes total sense that
Hmm.
fitting in you have to change. Wow, that changes the conversation,
It
right?
does.
So the question is, what was the question? Do we need to feel like we belong when we start working with a new group?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
do we need to address that feeling of belongingness when working with a new group? It doesn't even have to be a new group. Um, it's it's uh it's any group that you work with. Um, so so I think belongingness is important. Um,
But I
you
feel
know,
like it takes a while, no, to feel like you have to get to know each other.
yeah.
You can't belong right away, right? Because no one knows you.
True. It's a process, right? I think that's what I think. It's like
Yeah.
a process, right? When you're meeting up with a new group with um, different people, maybe you haven't met them before. Um,
Hmm.
so it is a process, I have to say. So by the way, I just wanted to just say hello to. I just saw Brother John Villanueva there, um, from Australia, as well as Kuya Marv's Aquino. They're
Oh,
from.
Kuya
Yeah.
Mars, hi.
Hello. Long
Hi,
time
Kuya.
no
And
see.
Brother John V. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. So good to see them here joining. Um, and so, it's to me, I think belongingness is a process, but and fitting in is also, it's two things, but and it has uh different meanings to it. And so
But
we're gonna
it's
we're
nice
gonna
to
dive
fit.
in.
Well, what's more important to you as a kid? Fitting in or belonging?
Um, I don't know.
I
That's a
think
hard question, Atilea.
I think it's easier to fit in, right? Because belonging means you have to talk about your feelings and your faults. But I don't want to jump the gun on that. I know we have like a whole we
Yeah.
have like a whole other hour
I
on this.
think I think I think for me, Atilea, like when you meet a group, when you meet a group, you kind of want to be able to fit in yourself and see how things, kind of you mesh with them. Um, and so when I read that too, fitting in versus belonging, it just really opens up a lot of things and reasons why of so many things that we've experienced through life. So when we're why we want to have that feeling of belonging and belongingness. um Belongingness, I feel like, feeling of acceptance. feeling of being heard and seen, feeling valued when you wanna belong to a group. What's your thoughts on that, Ate?
I was just thinking, um, I guess fitting in is the easier way to join a group. For example, if you, let's say, I'm thinking of Kuya Marv's with this. If you say you join a group that does dancing or choreography, you all have to wear the same uniform, and you have to learn the same moves, and you have to. So that's fitting in. That makes you fit in because you're wearing the uniform and you have to learn the moves. But belonging, to that group is even when you're out of uniform and you're not dancing. That's like
Yes.
that's accepting all of you, not just the fact that you dance together.
Yeah.
So, not to say that either one is better. I mean, everything has its purpose, but belonging does take a while. And I think especially, this time of year when people spend more time with family, there's a
Yeah.
lot of, there's your blood relatives, your blood relations, but also, your friends are the family that you create as you have, as you've matured. So they're also family.
Yeah.
So I just, maybe you feel like you belong to them more than your own family because you don't fit in with your family.
Yeah. I know
Yeah, you know what I
it's quite a
mean? Like
bit.
like because you have a big, if you come from a big family, you will not fit in with everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
It takes time. It's a process, like I said. So, I mean, you belong to a family, but fitting in is also, you know, it's it's a something that gotta be worked into, right? Till
Yeah.
you know how it works.
Like yeah, like I would just want to mention one of the challenges of fitting in, Manang, I found in the last few years is the language.
Mm,
Like if there's a translation issue, or if there's a cultural translation, issue, like it's a different culture, I find that it's hard to fit in that way. Like so my international friends, they call me like I have a Yankee accent. I don't know what that means. Like it's
I don't know either.
it's not a baseball reference, but it's, like you sound like an American. It's like, well, can you
Right.
say American instead of a Yankee? Like, are
Mhm.
we, so those kinds of references sometimes get lost. So I think it's hard to fit in when you don't understand those references as well.
That's true. Just want to say hello to brother uh, Kuya Jeff Fernandez there from your satellite studio, Leah.
Yeah,
Um,
hello,
yeah,
hello.
hi.
And Angelica's on too. So yeah, hello, thanks for tuning in. I know Jeff has a lot to say about fitting in and belonging. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe we'll do it on New Jersey as well. This is a great
it
topic.
sounds good. All right. So, when we face challenges, right? When in feeling comfortable with a new group, and how do we overcome them? Few of the challenges that maybe I, you know, feel when we go into a new group is like because I don't really know them too much. Maybe um, we're not sure of each other. We're just afraid that um, of personality clashes. Maybe. What do you think on that one, Atelea?
I'm always uncomfortable, Manang Flow, even
Yeah.
if it's with people that I know. I'm just like internally, I feel uncomfortable. So when I'm with a new group and I don't feel like I understand their dynamic, it's hard to,
Hmm.
especially if it's like maybe just three other people and they've known each other for a very long time. So they have all these inside jokes, they have all this history. My go-to is just to ask them questions. Like,
Yeah.
oh, hi. So, how long have you guys been doing this? Or I noticed that everyone has, is wearing pink. Is this like a thing that you guys do and you go to brunch? Or I'll ask them what their habits are together, just to understand. Uh, do I? It's funny in my mind. I'm like, do I fit in? or do I belong? Like those are the two questions. The first one is like, I don't really fit in here. And sometimes like you might just know one person in that group and they're the one that binds you to that group, but you know you don't belong there. Like if that person's not there, you don't know what to do. So it's just hard. I just ask questions. That's
I,
and then I'm relieved when it's over.
I go through that a lot in life. Like, do I fit in? Am I speaking the same,
What am I doing
lingo,
here? Like why?
right?
What do I have
You
in
know,
common with these people?
do I look funny or do I
You
speak
never look
funny?
funny unless you want to look funny. You never look funny, Mana. But I
Do I
totally no. These
speak
are these
funny?
are the questions, right? These are the questions. You're like, yeah, like why am I here? What is my purpose here? Like,
Right.
how long do I have to stay? But sometimes, Mana, in those situations, I learn about myself.
You do.
Like, is this really as bad as I feel like it is? Especially, it's kind of like when I first joined Faith and Melody. I didn't know anyone, and then we had to do these very loud icebreakers, and Manang Delmar would make us do a chi hu as the icebreaker. And one, I didn't know what a chi hu was. I didn't know it was Hawaiian, and then you have to do it as long and as loud as you can. And I felt so self conscious, and I was like, maybe I should just drop off and pretend like I lost my connection because I was so embarrassed and I felt so awkward. I was like, how do you do that? Like, I didn't have time to research before the show. It's like, gee.
You've
Like,
learned
he's never,
eventually what
yeah,
that meant,
no, right,
right?
right. Because he demonstrated, and I was like, I
Mhm.
can't do that. That's
Yeah,
too loud. I can't. That's not me. So you just, I guess you just have to set your boundaries, Manang.
right.
Comes
We'll
to it,
get
like,
into that part in a bit.
okay,
You know, um, we have challenges and we have to overcome them. And so one of the things that, especially in a group, uh, we have team building, and right, we mentioned team building in some past episodes as well. And team building kind of, breaks the ice and warms us up to one another. We learn to build trust, and we learn to work with each other. Um, for those that's leading a group or kind of pretty much have someone that's leading, um, that leader most time will make sure that everybody, um, you know, be comfortable and try to work together as much as possible. And communication is also a big thing when you're working with a group. And so when we're working with a group, and sometimes there's times when we have different personalities, different work styles. Maybe it's good to identify them, and then find ways to have resolutions, to work through them so that a group can be successful. And I came across that word inclusive. So, making sure that everyone is included and you know, um, not making one feel like, they're not part of the group. Make everyone, feel good. And then of course when we have successes in within the group, make sure that we encourage them to keep going and encourage uh, celebrations in terms of even the smallest baby steps that we've done. So, that way, I think eventually the dynamics of a new group or even just working with an active group will, be what they call that, Atilea, cohesive.
that's a nice word, Manang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cohesive.
it is. You do have to work at it. You're absolutely right. Group dynamics are tricky sometimes, but I love that you pointed out whoever is leading the group should, should communicate and also be a good listener, even those silent signals like
Hmm.
arms crossed.
Yeah.
When someone's arms are crossed in a group event, or they're standing away from the group, like, did something happen that you don't want to stand with the group? Is it too hot?
Too hot, right?
Those are the small details that a great leader would notice and address to keep the group together and cohesive.
Hmm. So also, I see Kuya Rani Bayuga there joining us, and Ate Myrtle there. Also, cold in Surrey, British Columbia, and Canada. It's brisk 35. It's even colder than us. 35 degrees Fahrenheit or 2 degrees Celsius. So, hello there. Stay warm. Stay warm. Also, yeah. So, going back to what we're talking about, we're discovering a lot of things, and you're right, Atilea, in that process, um we learn a lot about ourselves. Are we you know we start to identify what we're good at, or how we work with each other, so that's so important as well. And so, we belongingness and fitting in is such a two big things for me. And just this topic alone, Atilea, just kind of open doors for me and help me realize for a lot of things. Right. And then um let's
I love
see.
that, Manang Flow. That means that we're always learning. Learning never stops, and realizing things about yourself that you may like or not like gives us opportunities to change. And that learning and fitting in and belonging are, I feel like it's a it's like some people think that it ends, those problems about fitting in ends when you leave high school. It doesn't.
It doesn't. It leads us
Like,
into our adult life
it's
as
like a
well.
lifelong struggle. It's like,
Yes,
and
it is.
sometimes there are some groups that you do not want to fit in with, right? You might
Yeah,
belong to them, but you don't want to be associated with them. So sometimes that also happens. So it's
that
also
happens.
backwards. Sometimes you don't want to fit in because you don't value what they value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so okay. So I think we're ready for our next part, and we're wanting to play or share the verse of the week. And so our verse of the week is entitled "What the Bible Teaches on Improving Work Ethics."
Work ethic. It's a quality that many people attribute as a factor to their success. And when a new year comes around, or a person gets a new job, a student enters the next grade or stage in their education, people do so with the hopes of succeeding and not wasting the opportunity that they are being given. Friends, we know that all of you want to succeed and not fail in your pursuits. Much better than a New Year's resolution or short-term goal or a to-do to get checked off the list is what the Bible says about work and how to approach any endeavor that we undertake. It teaches about a principle that servants of God should live by. I'm Brother Dexter Manglikmot, and in today's verse of the week, listen to what it says here in Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For in the grave where you are going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. The truth of these words should motivate us, not only to believe in them, but also to live by them. During this time of pandemic, the fragility of our life has become more evident. So while we are alive, and in whatever we do, like what the Bible says, do it with all your might. For the Lord's people, they take this to heart and give their very best, not only in their careers or education or in their care for their family and loved ones. Above all, they serve the Lord with all their heart, their minds, and their souls. May this verse give you the inspiration to do your best today in everything you do. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay faithful. God bless.
Right. everything is so timely when it comes to verses of the week. And so this one is good too because it deals or it teaches us to improve on our work ethics. All right. Also, I just want to emphasize to you that you'll find the verses of the week in the incmedia.org, as well as on our YouTube INC Media YouTube channel. So check them out. It'll come as an inspiration for all of us. All right, we're going to take a musical break for now, and we'll play I Will Put My Hope in God, and the next one after that is Let's Not Worry. And so let's play that, and we'll be right back with Faith and Melody.
Why am I discouraged? Why is my heart so sad? I will put my hope in God. I will praise Him again. Why am I discouraged? Why is my heart so sad? I will put my hope in God. I will praise Him again. Why am I discouraged? Why is my heart so sad? I will put my hope in God. I will praise Him again. I hear the wicked sings, uncertain times sweep over me. I am lonely, tears for what? I'm taunted by my enemies. But is the God that pours His love through the night with singing hymns? He is the source of all my joy. I will put my hope in Him. Oh, each day God now pours His love through the night. I sing Him hymns. He is the source of all my joy. I will put my hope in Him. Oh, each day God now pours His love through the night. I sing Him hymns. He is the source of all my joy. I will put my hope in Him. I will put my hope in God. I will praise Him
Your requested song, our favorites, Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
sambahayan po namin ay ingatan. Magulang po namin ilayo sa panganib. Gabayan mo po sila. Bigyan ng panibagong lakas. Mula pa sa kanilang pagkabata, ikaw na ang kanilang pinaglingkuran. Ngayong sila'y matanda na, wag mo po silang iiwan. Ikaw po ang aming matibay na kublihan. Makapangyarihan ka po sa lahat, sa'yo kami naglalagak ng pag-asa. Dalangin po namin ay pakinggan. Iligtas po, Ama, ang aming buong sambahayan. Kami po ay pinalaking may takot sa'yo. Sa paglilingkod kami ay iminulat. Pagmamahal sa tungkulin ng itinuro nilang yaman. Ang magagawa mo po ang aming panghawakan. Oh, wow, wow. Makapangyarihan ka po sa lahat, sa'yo kami naglalagak ng pag-asa. Dalangin po namin ay pakinggan, pagkat ang nais po namin ay paglingkuran ka pa. Sa'yo po ang aming buhay. Pangako po namin ang buhay na bigay mo'y di namin sasayangin. Gagamitin namin sa pagbibigay kalwalhatian sa'yo. Makapangyarihan ka po sa lahat, sa'yo kami naglalagak ng pag-asa. Dalangin po namin ay pakinggan, patuloy pong maglilingkod ang aming buong sambahayan.
Your requested song. Our favorites. Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
All right, there you go, Ate Zen. That's your song, Panalangin. We hope that you enjoyed that song too as well. And getting back into our discussion, I just wanted to just read those that has chimed in about our topic today. Sister Myrtle, she says, so true. We're always learning and growing. Something we have to learn to fit into our own skin first. Be true to who we are instead of trying to align with what others think and do. Yeah, I'm learning about that too. That's so, so important. Also, Sister Rachel Cruz from Beaverton, she says, I interact with diverse groups a lot at work and at church. So it's important that I improve on my cultural intelligence and my self awareness. Important points as well. And Ate Zenaida has her acronym. She says, fitting in faith in the tests, tribulations, nurturing our goal, inspiring novel members of Iglesia Ni Cristo. There you go. So that's her acronym. And so let's get back in and um, uh, talk some more about this topic today. Ate Leah, what are your thoughts about what was said about sisters Myrtle and Rachel?
I responded to Sister Rachel because I feel like we have different languages for different situations. Like, when I talk to my parents, it'll be Taglish, and I know what they're going to talk to me about. And I know what I'm going to ask tired. So they'll both tell me what they're doing, or, recipes, or do you have any extra veggies? Because they're still trying to grow a veggie. But in terms of always learning, that's always true. And if the world is always changing, so we also have to change. For Sister Rachel, I always watch the news. I don't watch, sorry. I listen to the news
Hmm.
whenever I know I'm going to be going to the office, because I know that's what they're going to be talking about in the office, especially if there's anything going on in the New York area. So um, that's, I think, the one thing that I have in common with my coworkers is, we all come to the same office and we're all dealing with the same issues near our workspace. So
Yeah.
it's important to
Um,
find commonality. I think that's the part about fitting in or belonging. Some
yes.
people I know are very exact about how they're going to fit in. Like, if they notice that people go to the same coffee shop, maybe they'll try to stop in and go with them. Um, or they'll wear similar clothes, or they'll join the similar sport, or go to a certain club to fit in. Like, I wish I had an endless budget so I could do all that too,
Yeah, me
but
too.
I don't.
And so I love those insights. Really, it's so important. I think the bottom line, I think, with fitting in or belongingness is just the connection with one another, and and that plays a very big. Um, it's a important part of everything that we do. We deal with other people, right? And so, what do you think should? Who do you think I should say? Who do you think should be responsible for making people feel they belong? Um, is it yours, or is it the group leaders, or the group itself? Um, I think for me, it's the responsibility for all of us. It's everyone. To me, it's everyone in the group. In the group or individuals should be responsible for making people feel belong in the group that you're in. How about you, Ate?
um, I'm a little torn on this one, Manang.
Mm-hmm.
Communication is definitely a two-way street. So if you're in a friend group and one person is not responding to messages on, or they're responding only individually and not in the group chat, like, there's something going on there. Whose responsibility is it to find out why this person's not responding in the group chat, but they're responding only to certain individuals? That's who who is the leader of your friend group, right? So, but in that case, I guess you're right. It should be everyone. But if you're in a group that has work to do, and your work is being impeded or harmed by uh, uh, I guess not the best group dynamic, then it should be the leader to figure out how to improve things so that work productivity is improved. However, I feel like some leaders are not the best either, depending on what the challenge is, especially if they've never faced it before. So, so in that case, they have to get advice. So it really depends. And Mama, we can't always take on the responsibility. for every situation. I would love to try to fix all the problems in the groups, but it's not our responsibility. I mean, we feel that it is, and I want to help, but we also have to think of our own limits and making ourselves vulnerable to, negative things or a toxic environment. And I hate to think of, well, it happens. People sometimes think that you're in charge, and then they all come to you with the problems, and no one wants to solve them by themselves. They're like, here, fix this. It's like, wait a minute. This is a group. This is a group. Why don't we all try to fix it? Why do I have to fix it by myself?
I think with that said, um, I think then that calls for like a little, group group work, or a little like a, in at at work we have our they call it team powwow, where we talk about maybe the different challenges that we're facing, well, how we're gonna resolve things. And so, communication, that is, I think it should be said, and it should be everybody's responsibility to help one another, because, like you said, it you impede on the productivity of whatever the goal may be, right? And so, we come from different, and that's where it plays, right? We come from diverse personalities and backgrounds. We we grew up maybe in different generations, or different upbringing. So, what are the strategies that maybe you've learned to fit in easily or quickly?
So just some icebreakers or to reset the mood. Sometimes, like for work, I'll bring in some pastries.
Ooh, food is good,
Yeah, no, food. I was like, food is never a bad idea unless there's
right?
already food there. So that's one of the strategies that I use for work days that are pretty intense. I try to find out what people like normally, but my group is small, thankfully, so kind of gotten it down. But for, let's say, church activities, food is always a good idea. I think when people are fed, they're coffeeed up, they have water, they're in a better mood and more open to talking about, what's going on. It's relaxing, I think, and a mood booster. Food.
Yeah, food
Food
it is,
food's the quick answer, and it's not it's I mean, it's a good way to fit in because everyone can talk about what they like about the food, what they don't like, or how they like it, how they like your coffee. So it's something to create a common bond immediately. So
Yeah, I think that's how come there's always, like, or most time there's food in a group setting. Um, Go out for coffee, or like you said, bring pastries into the office. And we used to have that a lot when we used to go into the office atelier. So, and it's a good thing to have that too. Also, let's be open minded when we're faced with different personalities or different backgrounds. Um, Everybody reacts or behaves differently, and so we have to be adaptable to those kind of things, and be positive in when we're dealing with different different backgrounds and
agree,
personalities, because
Manang. Totally agree. I mean, we have to
yeah,
accommodate. We have to accommodate for differences.
yeah, because we grew up, maybe we grew up in a sheltered environment, or we've grew up in an environment where everything was done openly. We So it does affect the group setting also when we come together as a group. Some people might not talk a lot, but they might do a lot. So
Yes.
that happens, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're right.
Yeah. And one thing too is it was mentioned. Sister Rachel said about cultural. You know, we like we said it earlier in our program that like in your place you have um, different nationalities or cultures that you know have come to the different states or your place, and you have to deal with that. And sometimes being sensitive to those those things, it's important too, and also maybe communicating that as well. um you know and if they're comfortable to share that, the being sensitive and all of the cultural things that they've come in their lives, right? um
Yes, Manang, I will say though, in terms of generations, I sometimes have a hard time understanding. I don't know how many generations down they are because they speak in acronyms, and I don't
acronyms.
understand. I don't understand, and I don't understand some of their slang, and I have to look it up. So I don't know. So I think that's also something that we should take into account is age and generation, not just nationality, ethnicity. They eat different things, they pronounce things differently, like
Right.
aluminum versus aluminium. Just it's not about what's right. If you understand what they're saying, we don't have to debate about what is the right way to say something. So,
Right.
but in terms of age, Manang, I have to admit the kids sometimes I feel like they're speaking a different language when they're playing together.
Hmm.
So, and what they're actually playing too. They don't play the games like I grew up with. It's all
It
gadgets
is.
and video games. It's not, hopscotch and tag or like kickball. Yeah.
And I do get that too, because like, when they had those acronyms or those things, those letters that stand for something and it means something, I literally had to look it up. Like, for example, what is LOL means? In the beginning when it first came up, I had to look it up because I didn't come from that type of generation. And so, it's also like you said, learning. We gotta be everybody comes from different things in their lives. So
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
are
man.
times those are times to right, Atelea, that those when we see differences or things that maybe we're not used to, those are opportunities to collaborate, right? Maybe they've learned something in their college or their lives in their path that they want to bring into. Let's look at those as opportunities to collaborate, right? And so,
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it comes to technology. Like
mhm,
the kids nowadays, they work so much more efficiently because they have all these apps
they
that
do.
that sometimes don't make sense to me, but some of them do, and it also helps me in my workflow. So that is a great way to learn new things, especially if you're in a group. So always willing to learn, especially if it's gonna cut down my my work, so I can do more work. I know this sounds awful. It's like, so give me this app so I can do my work faster, so I
Make
can
it
do more
faster.
work.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
And
finish.
and and overall, I have to say that, in a group, find ways to have fun and celebrate those little successes that you've achieved. Um, because when you fit in or belong in a group and you see each other progressing, um, you'll find that, "Oh, okay, you can tell yourself, "Oh, I fit in. I belong," right? And so, I think that's every to me, I think that's everyone to be just really adaptable, to be flexible with one another in terms of that. I just want to say hello to Ate Tony Rose Valenzuela. Hello, Ate. I hope you're well and happy watching to happy watching, everyone. All right. And then we also have Warlito. Okay. Quinola is the last name. Hello. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Let us know where you're joining us from, what locale or district you're from. All right. Anything else that you'd like to add on to this part of our conversation, Ate?
I think it's fun to meet people with different backgrounds, especially when there's like a potluck event and they bring something and you don't know what it is, but it smells really good. And then you find out you've been mispronouncing it your whole life. So, those moments are fun, and it's fun to learn about other people and places you might want to visit. So like you never know why God puts people in your life. So I think it's always a fun opportunity to get to know yourself better as well as learning about the person who you just met.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that. And so we're just going to take a song break here. We're going to play We Are One and I Will Stay True. So take a listen to these wonderful songs, and we'll be right back with Atelia and myself.
In these last days, we'll be tested in our faith. Persecutors will try to lead us astray. We'll stand firm in our faith. Our Lord God is on our side. We won't back down. There is no middle ground. Our love will not grow cold. Our faith will stay strong. With the church administration, we are one with God and His Son. We shine brightly as lights of this world, giving light to those in darkness. We stand firmly resolute. A life in Christ we will choose. We won't back down. There is no middle ground. Our love will not grow cold. Our faith will stay strong. We are one with the church administration. United, we are one with God and His Son. We are one. We are one with the church administration. We are one with God and His Son. We are one with the church administration. We are one with God and His Son. We are one. My Lord God, I promise you, as I grow old, I will stay true. I know that I shouldn't be afraid. You taught me how to be brave. I'll be strong, I won't lose hope. I will fight a good fight. I will brave these storms, though there are trials along the way. I will shine my light to lead the lost when I'm out on my own, far from faces that I will brave these storms, though there are trials along the way. I will shine my light to lead the lost home. I will use my light to lead the lost home.
And welcome back to Faith and Melody. Again, our topic title today is fitting in. And I'd like to say hello. Hi, Ate Tony. Good to see you here today.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm in my
Yes,
car.
I can
Okay.
hear you.
Hi everyone. Hi Auntie Kat. Hi Manong. Hello everyone who's in the YouTube chat. I'm sorry I'm really late, but I'm glad to be here.
Okay, you're here. So how's it going, Ate Tony? There, it's cold. Is it cold there?
It is cold. I don't know if that's obvious by what I'm wearing, but it is cold. And
I
I'm in
know.
my car because it's moving day for one of my crew. So they're moving on to a different place. So we're helping them move. So I'm out and about right now.
Okay, well, you stay warm over there. So, um, I don't know if you were able to listen, in the beginning part of our show, but no. Okay. So we're fitting in. Um, so Atilea kind of, she and I kind of like talked about, and what was kind of eye-opening was fitting in versus belongingness. So let's start with that. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh man, I hope I don't repeat or sound repetitive. I would say this quickest way to say that is fitting in feels more forced where belonging is more natural. I guess that's the difference for me between those two.
That you got it. That you got it. That's as easy as it's said. Because fitting in, just think about a puzzle, right? Every puzzle piece has a different, you know, curve or size or what, and you're trying to fit in. And all of us think of ourselves as puzzle pieces to a big picture, and so that's fitting in. And then belongingness, I feel like you just kind of you kind of feel good with each other. You don't have It's not like it's natural to act yourself, right? And so we got some that just joined in with us this morning. So wanting to say hello to Sister Lexi Aquesta. She's from the local congregation of Albany, also Roseburg Group Worship Service and Eugene Group Worship Service. So hello to you, Sister Lexi. Say hello to Brother Paulo as well as the girls as also. So hope you're all doing well. Also, we have Ate, Sister Melby Tamayo there from Central Valley, California. And we have a newlywed that's just joined us. They just marked their 1 month together. Brother Jordan Augustin. Hello. There he's I know it's kind of what time is it there? 7:32 a.m. there in Hawaii. So hope you're doing well as right. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we've talked about. And so we're kind of like hitting home stretch on our program today. And so, how do we fit in? How do we fit in without losing ourselves in the process? Let's start with you, Atelea.
I've actually been thinking about this recently because fitting in doesn't mean that you belong anywhere. Like you might fit in one group for one reason. For example, you might be into Korean beauty products. so so that is a thing that you're into. But you fit in with that group because you're all into this one thing, but in all other aspects of your life, you don't really mesh well together. And I think, especially when it comes to shopping and buying things, becoming a consumer, like even, having a bubble tea group, it's easy to lose track of your budget, just as an example. So how do you how do you fit in without losing yourself? It's, well, you have to make sure you know why you're there, you know what you're supposed to be doing, and make sure your priorities are straight. And peer pressure is sometimes good, but you also have to know your own limitations and maybe even set boundaries, even internally. You don't have to tell someone you're setting a boundary, but internally you could set a boundary for yourself. So, but I have to say, in all my X number of years of experience, it is very easy to lose yourself in something new because you don't know what it is yet. You only know one part, and then you like it so much, you just keep doing it, or you keep going further. So I think that's something just as to be cautious about when you're trying something new, or hanging out with new people. You don't know where it's going to go. So just remember that you know who you are, know your boundaries, and know um, your own goals and your obligations. So don't neglect your obligations. That's the one thing that my father used to always remind me after I finished college. He's like, you have obligations now. Don't forget, you can't like stay out all the time and do whatever you want.
Right. What you said really does, those are important. It's important to not lose yourself because that that happens to me. You're like wanting to conform with that group. So you're just following, right? And so and and I know that that's a tough call sometimes, right? I'd say Tony, I know you got stuff to do. I'd like to get your insights about that.
I don't know why the first thing that I thought of was like I never experienced this growing up, but I think of like when you go to school or maybe even work, right? You're required to wear like some kind of uniform. You're required to do like these different things just so that you can um I guess match up with the level that people are expecting you to show up as, right? Like when you arrive to work, you're expected to show up a certain way. And that can be okay, right? Because it helps set standards for different things. It helps set standards of what's expected in different environments. But when it comes to, I guess, if we're making that comparison between like fitting in and belonging, I like what Atikat said, where we don't have to feel like we necessarily belong to any of these other things, especially as Christians, right? Like what we know that we belong to is our faith as Christians. So what that will look like in the world will always be different because that's what we're protecting when we're in different places. So being able to, I guess, have that self-awareness of remembering who you are in every moment, I think that's the thing that's helped me the most. And I know peer pressure is hard to um not succumb to or like to give into because you want to be around like these people that you've made friends with or it's like experiences maybe that you want to have, but you have to ask yourself like, is the price of what is it going to take for me to have this thing, is that going to be worth what I'm giving up? Like you're always going to have trade-offs in that kind of sense. So being able to keep that self-awareness and be like, who do I want to be? Like who do I want to be? Is this who I want to be? Especially in like if it's a decision that you have to make or if it's in a situation that you're in, whether or not you continue with it, you know. So self-awareness I think is just asking questions. I think asking good questions to yourself, not to anyone else but to yourself in every moment will help you, you know. The cat's laughing because I ask her a lot of questions, but it also helps to ask others questions too. I
No,
think.
I was thinking, I was like, who would I ask questions if I don't have the answer? I guess I could ask, the internet, or I don't know what kind of answer I'll get. But I just want to say I love that analysis, Tony, because you do have to think about how much of your values will you compromise. like when you're negotiating with yourself because you really want to go to this thing, but I don't have the money, so maybe I can not eat for a month and then I can go. you know, like you just become irrational sometimes. But that's just an example. So I love that because you are trading your time and your money for experiences, but also your values. Is what you're doing aligning with what you value, and how much of that are you willing to give up? Like, how important is this person? How important is this thing? So yeah, but it sometimes doesn't feel good. I just wanted to add, Mama, it doesn't feel
Yeah,
good when you're making the right decision. Sometimes you feel bad and you're so sad, but it's the right thing to do, and you do it, but it doesn't feel
yeah.
good all the time.
That makes sense. I know I've been down that road before. And yeah, we have Ate Des chiming in with us, and she says sometimes, even with a close circle, there are moments when we feel we don't fit in because of some factors. I don't know what's going on, or I have a different opinion, and everyone notices that, and it becomes uncomfortable. So she just keeps quiet and keep eating. So yeah, sometimes that happens too. Like sometimes you just kind of you. It's easy to lose yourself in what's going on in a group, and you're just trying to, you know, conform with them or fit into that group. And so I've learned, and I've been learning lately that um you know it's backing up and just saying, okay, I'm gonna take the time to self-reflect. And I've been doing a lot of writing, and you know so asking myself like those questions. Ask yourself, what is important to me? What are the values? um, what has helped me be confident? Because there are times it happens when you may be confident here, and then sometimes your confident level goes down because something made you feel uncomfortable, or something made you feel like you lost your self-confidence. um, I think for me, in all in all of this, you have to maintain your individuality for the most part. And yet, for us, like I love what Ate Tony mentioned, that we in the end we think about who we are, because we are members of the Church of Christ too, and we do get exposed to different areas of our lives where we belong to certain groups. And like we said, we are family, we have family, and we have work family as well. So it's all of that self-awareness. And one of the things I while I was writing was being like that self-awareness. Know what know what uplifts you. Know what uplifts you and what drains you, and then you can go from there. So that way you're not losing yourself as well. Know what resonates with you also. Mm. um like you said, sometimes you think that's your right thing, and you're right, Atelia. Sometimes it feels like it's it's uncomfortable, right? Have you I think you mentioned that too, Atelia.
Yeah, and I have. I mean, it's doing the right thing sometimes doesn't feel good because it goes against the grain. When you're the only one who's not doing it, when your idea is not popular, when your idea is not accepted, it doesn't sound like fun. You feel bad. You feel bad that you have to make this decision, but you know it's the right thing to do, and you know it's not going to make you the popular person.
Yeah.
But you have to do it because you have to be responsible and you have to make decisions that align with your values. And I love that you mentioned you have to know what makes you confident and what steals your confidence.
Hmm.
um, Knowing those things about yourself, you can work on. You can have a conversation with yourself, say, that was so silly. Like, why does that bother you so much? It might not even be that thing, but maybe you're triggered because of something else. I love that you should find out what steals your confidence and what makes you more confident when you have to do something that you might not want to do, or you don't feel like you fit in, or you don't do well. So I love all that advice, Manong.
Yeah.
And the mood boosters, always, I'm always finding new ways to boost my mood, hopefully on a budget, because we have limited budget. So uh,
I want
Tony's
to add on
smiling.
to,
Tony's smiling because she always has like the free things that are mood boosters. Always something to do with music, right, Tony?
yeah,
Yeah.
For sure. Can I just add also, Manang,
yeah.
on the flip side, I think touching too on both what Ate Kat said and what Ate Des was commenting, it does help. Like even if you feel like your opinion is not the popular one in that moment, it's still important to share it. It's
Hmm.
important to share it to others because even if they don't agree with you in that moment, you don't know how that will change down the line. You don't know what you can do just by sharing like your perspective, or even if you don't, if it's not even a conversation, just your story, just like sharing your story of what you've experienced and the things that you've gone through. Like yeah, it may not be what everyone else has gone through, but they can learn things just from the stuff that you're sharing, and like through that way, as opposed to it just because when you're trying to fit in, right, like when you're trying to fit it and everybody's sharing the same like thing, way of thinking, right, you lose creativity too in that way.
Hmm.
Because I feel like working with you, working with Atikat, there's always been things that like Atikat has pointed out to me, like whenever we've been doing stuff, she's like, "Oh, well, did you think about this though?" I'm like, no, I didn't, right? And so if you're kind of like what I think you mentioned it earlier, I think I did hear that part. We were talking about like being open-minded. Like you don't have to adopt everything that people are telling you, right? Like and we shouldn't, especially as Christians, but like being able to listen to others, being able to listen and like hear how they think, and then that
Hmm.
will help you also like communicate your perspective to others better as well. Because I feel bad like listening to at the desk, like, oh, like she feels like nobody else is like sharing her opinion, so she doesn't share it. No, I mean, like, especially if it's something that you're working towards together on a team, it's good for you to share your opinion. Because yeah, like it's not always about like necessarily agreeing in that moment. Sometimes it takes more work to get to some kind of conclusion or some kind of resolution, and it takes work, but that work that you're putting into understanding each other and coming to some kind of resolution, it makes it worth it in the end, because then you're able to explore all different aspects of whatever it is you're tackling,
Yeah.
and people will show you things that you may not have seen from your sole point of view. And but if you just decide to like, oh, I'm not going to share it because like I want to be, like I don't want to like stick out, or I don't want to look like whatever, it's really hard to to not feel the negative feelings like what Atakat is talking about. Like you will feel them, right? You will feel them, but I think that's where bravery is a little, it's a little bit required. And being able to tell yourself, you know what, I'm just going to own this moment regardless of what the reaction is going to be, of course in a respectful way. I'm not saying to like be rude about it, or like argue with people, but there are gentle ways to kind of bring up um understanding each other, I guess, in that way.
I love that, being, you know, I think vulnerability is also comes into play. And and then and we go through that because sometimes, like, when we say something or we share something, um and we don't know if like I said, maybe it sounds funny or it may not go along with the popular thing that's being said. But for me, like, and there are times too, like for me, I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes I'm shy to say what I'm thinking. So there are times that I don't say, and I clam up. But I learned that I should not do that. Just say it. However, the person on the receiving end who's listening should also acknowledge that person. Hey, I can appreciate that. See, you know, say, maybe that's something we can explore later down the road. And so, vulnerability is such a big deal for many of us. And so um, and like you said, being brave to what you want to share. Um, I think that's or I know that is important, especially when you're working with a group. Just wanted anyone else that want to share about that?
I just wanted to add, Manang, sometimes being brave looks like swallowing your pride
Yeah.
or leaving your ego at the door, and being okay with being wrong or having the unpopular opinion. Like you have to be ready for that your ego is going to get bruised, but
Yeah.
that is the best way to have a vulnerable conversation. And
Yeah.
also to, I mean, the question about, not losing yourself. So if you know that's I love this. I love that. The respectful tone I think is sometimes challenging, right, Tony? It's like, how can I respectfully disagree with you?
I think it's hard because, like what you said, Atikat, for me, like it's really hard to admit like being wrong. like
Oh
it's
yeah,
really
that's
hard,
hard.
especially just like you have that moment when you're in midway conversation and then you realize you misunderstood what the person said and you're like, wait, let me backtrack, and then you're like, am I gonna say it? Am I gonna say like I'm sorry?
Well, yeah, it's hard to stay in control when you have a lot of emotions, and
Yeah,
then then you find out you miss. Yeah, so
yeah.
oh,
It's a lot of different things I think that
yeah.
go into it, but like at the end of the day, like what we were talking about earlier, like just going back to that idea of like fitting in versus
Mhm,
belonging. I think a
Mhm.
good indicator too of the people around you
Yeah.
is how they will be in the aftermath, right? Like how they will be in the aftermath, whether it's your coworkers or your your friends, your family, like being able to have those conversations, in moments where you feel like you don't fit in or like you feel like you don't belong, like actually talking about it, and then being able to um accept like realities of things that you can change and that you can't change, but then also owning that too, like being like, okay, like this is what it is, so I'm just gonna own it, especially if it's gonna be something that you're gonna feel like you're the only one. You're the only one in that situation. Is like, I'm gonna own like being a Christian, right? Like if
Mhm.
even if the others may, I know some people they might get made fun of because they don't go to certain kinds of events or
Mhm.
they don't do like certain kinds of things, like being able to get yourself, which is hard, I'm not saying it's easy, but like constantly reassuring yourself like, you know what, I'm gonna own this because this is something that's important to me and this is like what I don't want to lose, right? But we were talking earlier, there are things that we can change about ourselves and improve about ourselves, but the things that you don't want to compromise, of course it's going to be the thing that we protect whenever we're trying to see how we are interacting with different people.
Yeah. So right. So right. Yes. Thanks for that, Ate Tony. I just wanted to read what Manong Jess had chimed in. So, and he says, making others feel welcome is everyone's responsibility, but it is the leader's responsibility to recognize the group's dynamics and to facilitate the feeling of inclusivity. That's it. So that everyone feels valued. But it is also the individual's responsibility to stay engaged and contribute and to speak up either to the group or to the leader to say when they are uncomfortable. Confidence is a byproduct of our environment and experience. It is not inherent. He had a lot of deep thoughts about this on our topic today. Maybe we should have had him come converse with us. Uh, he's busy, but a lot of times, I've learned lately that I found myself losing myself and trying to, and it happens. It really happens. It's all part of the different um the experiences that we have, and there are times when we that's when the best time we learn so much about ourselves and where our strengths are, and that learning to stand on your own and to know what you are capable of. And then at the same token, it's okay to go ahead and be part of the group as well. And so, yeah. Just want to say hello to Kuya Brian Torres from Washington, D.C. Thanks for joining us. All right. And so, hi, we're like almost ending our show already. Atelia, Ate Tony. Feels like it sprinted. And so, in summary, I'd like to just share that fitting in can be a struggle at the beginning, especially if we are not used to communicating our thoughts and expressing ourselves. We all have the responsibility to make others feel welcome in a group. Same what Kajas had just mentioned. Even if we share nothing in common with them, respecting others and encouraging ourselves to participate can open up great relationships with others that will ensure success in our tasks or objectives. And there you go. That's our topic today. I hope you enjoyed that, Atelea, today. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no,
So
this
we're.
was awesome.
I wish we can talk about this
I can
all
go on
day
for
if we
another
want.
hour.
Yeah, we could. We could. I'd love to do that. All right. So we're at that time too, and I want to say thank you to you, Atelier and Ate Tony, for joining me today. But we have the part where we want to share our top comments, and so I hope you got to choose one. Let's play that bumper, Kuya Ken. All right. What's your top comment, Atelier?
I think it was all the way from the Wiki-wiki talk. It's from Sister Zenaida Novasteras. I can't find it right now, but she said that uh, to, I guess, as an icebreaker to talk to strangers, first thing she does is she smiles.
She smiles.
And I love seeing her smile. She has a wonderful smile. So if you ever seen her in person, she has a great smile. So
She does.
yeah, she didn't
Um,
overcomplicate the answer. She just smiles.
just easy, right?
Yeah.
Um, I know you came. I maybe Ate Tony's probably looking for hers. Do you have one? No. Okay. Um, I love what Sister Myrtle and Sister Rachel said. The one that I read earlier. Um, so I have to. So what she said was so true. We're always learning and growing, um, and it's something that we're learning to fit into. To fit in our own skin first, right? That's important, and to be true to who we are instead of trying to align with what others think and do. Sister Rachel also said that being diverse, so she interacts with all the different groups that she works with at work and also at church. So I've worked with her really well as well. So yeah, and those are my top comments. Let's see. Tony's probably still searching for hers. Uh,
I can only see so much in the chat, Manang. So
right. I know.
I'm gonna pick Manong. I'm gonna pick Manong's comment because that's really true. Being able to make everybody feel included is a really it takes a lot of work, but it's work that I think we think that has to happen in an instant. It doesn't always happen in an
Mm-mm.
instant. It happens over time and just very simple, small investments in people and noticing them and paying attention to them. So thank you for saying that, Mano. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
I like that one too. Because, like I said in the beginning, we said fitting in or the belongingness is a process and it's not an overnight thing. And I love that. And we all learn from each other. And so this has been an eye-opening topic as well, a learning topic for all of us. We hope that all of you had, taken something from this, and you know, and let's remember that we belong to the Iglesia Ni Cristo, Church of Christ. That is our most priority. Is that that's where we belong, and when we're doing things, let's remember who we are. We are Iglesia Ni Cristo members. All right. And so we'd like to send out our love and our thank yous and acknowledge our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for everything that you do for us, for leading us, po. And we hope that you're well and always please take care. Also, our CEBSI president, CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo, our INC Media Production Section Chief, Brother Montreal Boy, our INC Radio Subsection Chief, Brother Wally Tarai. And of course, we had our Atites joining us from Hawaii. And also, thank you to Kuya Edwin Asebuke, who, really helps us along with our program as well. Also, we wanted to thank all of you there joining us in our live chat for participating with us in our discussion this morning. We truly appreciate your time today. And remember, we're here Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, Faith and Melody. Also on Tuesday to Friday, 12 midnight in the Philippines. I know it's quite early morning, late morning, night, however you want to say it. and and then on Sundays, we have our replays at 10 p.m. Philippines time. We hope you enjoyed today. And after Faith and Melody is Iglesia Ni Cristo and the Bible. It's entitled The Most Valuable Knowledge. And it is led by our brothers, Jonas Ira and Brother Jam Bautista. And so our closing song today is our Faith and Melody Heartbeats closing song is It's Gonna Be Fine. We hope that all of you will have a great day. Enjoy the long weekend that everyone is having. Take care of you and take care of each other. Let's make sure that we say I love you to each other because that's part of belonging. Take care. See you all next week, Monday on Faith and Melody. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Your requested song. Our favorites. Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
I'm gonna go where God leads me. When the world makes me weep inside, there's a place I can call my home. The weight on my shoulders makes me afraid, but I know what I'm fighting for. With God I'll march and conquer. And I can't stop feeling, won't stop breathing. I wait with anticipation. Yeah, I won't stop holding until my fears end. Let God's light lead me. Ooh. It ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy. I'll march with honor. The day is near. I'll receive eternal life. There's a place I can call my own. I'm close to salvation, always prepared. When the Father sends His Son, I'll leave this world to meet Him. And I can't stop feeling, won't stop breathing. I wait with anticipation. Yeah, I won't stop holding until my fears end. Let God's light lead me. It's gonna be fine, although eating easy. It's gonna be fine, although eating easy. It's gonna be fine, although eating easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although eating easy. It's gonna be fine, although eating easy. It's gonna be fine, although eating easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy. I'm gonna go where God leads me. The world makes me weak inside. There's a place I can come out. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although it ain't easy. It's gonna be fine, although life ain't easy.
Your requested song. Our favorites. Faith and Melody Heartbeats.
Ito ang INCRadio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan.